It's the HHN special report. And we're back again. Who is it? It is Hurricane Hood News and Reviews bringing you in the house again, said the pack of men. Ladies and gentlemen, front, left, right. We back again. Who is it? It is Hurricane Hood News and Reviews bringing you in the house again. Yeah, we going back again, back and we going back again, back and we going back again for the very first time. Don't worry if I write checks, I write rhymes. Da, da, da. We going back to the HHN special report. You already know what it is. Shouts out to everybody. Let's go.
Now Rogue One Productions. One Productions.
Lives in panic, got reverse psychosomatics. Hear my brain now, saw the schematics of the chip that will make you organic. Throw your brain in the salad, it is all regulated and managed. Cybercrime all over the planet, no pleader demanding. I'm coming through and I'm killing you, damn it. Commanding armies taking over the planet. The revolution is here, and we about to make the enemy vanish. Understanding they be killing us all and creating the laws. Retaliation, that's breaking the law. Don't give a fuck, I'm breaking the law. Then I'm breaking your car, try to bitch, blow it up at the park. From the dark, I'll phone niggas saw, red dot in your head. Best believe that's a target remark. Hell yeah, it is all of their fault. Fuck the government, bitch. Hell yeah, we gon' be killing them all. Low down, yeah, we going to war. Are you ready for war? Grab your gun, time to settle the score. I want the call, we gon' kick in your door. Get down on the floor. You ready for more? Load up, yeah, we going to war. Are you ready for war? You grab a gun, time to settle the score. On one accord, we gon' kick in the door. Get down on the floor. Are you ready for more? Scared of the rebels, rise on the code of the level. Fight for freedom while you fighting for struggles. Try to die, drop your sections and devils. That be up in the government. It's time to go and load up the metal. Metal gear, yeah, stay on my hip. When the enemy trip, one shot will make the enemy flip. Better deal with when we come to the block. Let me make it hot. Bust shots, middle finger to cops. This gun is real, we ain't playing the props. And we aiming at dots. Body drop if you hanging with cops. With my words, I'm turning to weapons. There will be no discretion. I'ma teach your soul, give us the lesson. Got a class of us loading up guns, and we loading up tubs. One shot, when you haters are done. Run up, you be catching the buzz, and we having some fun. Got a army that is making you run. Yeah, we going to war. Are you ready for war? You grab a gun, time to settle the score. I wanna go, we kicking the door. Get down on the floor. Ready for more? Load up, yeah, we ready for war. Are you ready for war? You grab a gun, time to settle the score. On one accord, we gon' kick in the door. Get down on the floor.
Echo, my
Ready for
God.
more? Wickedest lyrics, infamous, intricate flows, terrific. Listen to pay attention to bold, another mission.
Much love, my
My
God.
decision. Cause a collision, my intention destroyed the enemy, fractured dimensions. Off the stage, subconsciousness, while you frolic and shot a comic, and you are incompetent, I'm the opposite. Hippopotamus size, lyrics despise villains, ain't no time slipping, we kill less than 9 minutes. Ain't no limit to ripping through the infinite for a cynic and kill the shit, burn it down, all they business is my decision to use this repetition to say for the government bitches, y'all better listen and pay attention, dig it. The parasitic, the population is their mission. Do you get it? Grab your gun and fucking kill him. Revolution, my retribution is gonna matter. Fight for peace and freedom in the final chapter. Up, yeah, we going to war. Are you ready for war? You grab a gun, time to settle the score. On one accord, we gon' kick in your door. Get down on the floor. Ready for more? Load up, yeah, we going to war. Are you ready for war? Grab a gun, time to settle the score. On one accord, we gon' kick in your door. Get down on the floor. Ready for more? Load up, yeah, we ready for war. Are you ready for war? You grab a gun, time to settle the score. On one accord, we gon' kick in your door. Get down on the floor. Ready for more? Load up, yeah, we going to war. Are you ready for war? You grab a gun, time to settle the score. On one accord, we gon' kick in the door. Get down on the floor. Ready for more?
Now Rogue One Productions.
Hit you with the boom, boom, boom.
I put my life on wax, coming through, gotta spit these facts. Talk shit, get your wig pushed back. Knock your brains out your snapback. Boy, you ain't ready for that. Bow down and pray to your God, cause I'm bringing the bomb. Activate while I chill out a pond. To the government, enough is enough. You ain't drafting us, got a gun and I'm calling you bluff. Detroit, this the place that I claim. Look what I became, revolutionary, spitting some flames. In the end, y'all remember the name, cause I showed y'all the game. Motherfuckers putting chips in your brains, and they still putting shit in your veins. This shit is insane. When we all gonna stand up and fight? Call the goons, they be ready tonight. Some is ready to snipe. Grab your guns and light up the night. Yo, these are ramble lyrics. I know that haters scared to hear it. I'ma keep on spitting while y'all haters keep on tripping. These are ramble lyrics. I know y'all haters scared to hear it. I'ma keep on spitting while y'all haters keep on tripping.
Thank you, Father.
These the ramble lyrics. I know y'all haters scared to hear it. I'ma keep on spitting while y'all haters keep on tripping. I put my life on track so I can spit these lethal rhymes on tracks. Hurricane smoking hydro packs. Got goons in the black lack. Everybody loading the strap. About to show the motherfuckers who boss. Run in the facility. Take the fucking head right off. Dead by dog. Dog can't compare my dog. Create a whole bloody scene. They like, oh my god, fuck the law. About to go and break their jaw. Walk through the mean streets with the safety off. Face me, dog. Make you like a pastry dog. Got 'em on the battlefield. Can't chase me off. You're crazy soft, might as well play VR. Cause in the real world, man, your face be off. Can't say soft, they can never trace your call. Cause we made it to the scene and we blast them all. These my ramble lyrics, I know y'all haters scared to hear it. I'ma keep on spitting while y'all haters keep on tripping. These the ramble lyrics, I know y'all haters scared to hear it. I'ma keep on spitting while y'all haters keep on tripping.
Hope we had a wonderful day,
These the ramble lyrics, I know y'all haters scared to hear it. And I'ma keep on spitting while y'all haters keep on tripping.
Had to let that beat ride. Shouts out to Jordan for the beat. Woo! Beautiful day.
These the ramble lyrics, I know y'all haters scared to hear it. Fuck it. I'ma keep on spitting while y'all haters keep on tripping. These some ramble lyrics, I know y'all haters scared to hear it. Fuck it. I'ma keep on spitting while y'all haters keep on tripping.
Beautiful day,
These some
Detroit.
ramble lyrics, I
Beautiful
know
day in
y'all
the
haters scared to hear
UK.
it.
Beautiful day wherever you at.
I'ma keep on spitting while y'all
It's
haters
that
keep on
barbecue
tripping.
weather. It's that picnic weather.
These some ramble lyrics, I know y'all haters
Chill
scared
by
to
the
hear
river,
it.
brother.
I'ma keep on spitting while y'all haters keep on tripping.
HHN Special Report. Hope everybody having a wonderful day. We're bringing you the news. Your anchor Hurricane and the beautiful Vanta, my UK correspondent. We gotta hit you with the dun dun.
Keep that hip hop going. And then we're gonna get off into the new track. Look.
Coming through with the ill flow, love when I spit slow. Astronomical bomb, about to explode. Flip mode, pull out the pistol, you get low. Bullets rip past your face and hit your chick, bro. Sad days, look at these man ways. I blast K's in the last days, make the government cascade. Last days, decapitate you with glass trays. On the last play, I'm going for the fast break.
Hey, been out here for a while. Chick from the UK, yeah, I'm making a smile. Vanta,
Beautiful queen, let me
give her the crown. Bring it down to the stage, let me show you around. Hey, show you what the revolution about.
Chillin' on a piece of land, me and you in the house. Your soul flow cold and I'm making a bounce. Put your hands in the air if you feeling it now. Lil soul flows cold if you feeling it now. Put your hands in the air if you hitting it down. Lil soul flows cold, it's that lyrical sound. Hurricane coming through when I'm getting the crown. Lil soul flows cold if you feeling it now. Put your hands in the air if you hitting it down. Lil soul flows cold, it's that lyrical sound. Hurricane coming through when I'm getting the crown. Trying to manifest my destiny, bring the best of me. No discrepancies, but the government keep on testing me. They want the less of me, I'ma hit them so heavily. Ever seen a bullet shoot through you when you're parakeet? Living clarity, been through therapy, get the charity. Not the revolution is here, they say it's scaring me. Just participate, no need to articulate. If you rolling with the government, you getting killed today.
Okay.
Don't get in my way, into it, the facilitate. Bullets show they will penetrate. Anybody got some shit to say?
Nope.
Like I'm traveling, throwing lyrics like javelin. Zone war with the madness and
Move on to the last shit.
she just trying to get my goddess like happiness. Just unanimous that my baby girl is the baddest chick. The one I'm happy with.
Drop a little love on that light.
Baby girl just betted on me. That's not an accident. Your soul flows cold. If you feel it now, put your hands in the air. If you hit it, get down. Your soul flows cold. It's that lyrical sound. Hurricane coming through when I'm getting the crown. Your soul flows cold. If you feeling it now, put your hands in the air. If you hit it, get down. Your soul flows cold. It's that lyrical sound. Hurricane coming through when I'm getting the crown. Your soul flows cold. If you feeling it now, put your hands in the air. If you hit it, get down. Your soul flows cold. It's that lyrical sound. Hurricane coming through when I'm getting the crown. Your soul flows cold. If you feeling it now, put your hands in the air. If you hit it, get down. Your soul flows cold. It's that lyrical sound. Hurricane coming through when I'm getting the crown.
Shouts out to everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Bask in the ambiance of the songs you just heard, because I got to tell you a story. Whew. Now it's time to tap into my dark side right now. And like this, the side that I keep suppressed. I save this shit for like when I'm trying to hit the battlefield. But like sometimes I have to let this out. You feel me? You just can't bottle up all your emotions. That's how you get sick. That's how you get heart disease and shit. That's how you get stress attacks and heart attacks. You gotta let it out. But before I play the new track, we gotta play part 1 to let you know. Y'all hear all my styles, but this is my style right here. I feel so alive when I get into this mode. You feel me? Yeah, baby. Vanta. A saint in the streets, but a beast in the streets. Her at 3. Her at deck 3. But like when it comes to the music, man, this was one of my original styles. Like, back in the day when I first started. Well, and this was really all my anger after all the shit I've been through, going through at the time. And everybody used to be afraid of this shit. It's like, yo. And mind you, like I was short at the time. They're like, man, like that little motherfucker's talking like that. Like, damn. The motherfucker sound like a monster. And I was. And I still am. But like to master hip hop, I wanted to, learn hip hop, study hip hop. But the dark style is, a style that I like I realized was some shit that started in the beginning. Like I realized it was on some horrorcore type shit before I even knew about horrorcore. And then when I found out about horrorcore, I found out the king of horrorcore was from Detroit. His name was King Gordy. I'm like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? So like hearing the classics when I was in high school, I was like, okay. King Gordy, 3-6 Mafia, Insane Clown Posse, what's the other group? Damn. I forgot the name of that group, but it was a whole bunch of
Juggalo shit, grunge, you know, like we was wild. Salute in the groove. But tap into my dark style. Here we go. Got to start off with part 1 first, because the new one is called part 2. But we got to start off with part 1. Let's go. Tap into my style again. Let's go.
Mastering the forces, chartering the courses, showing no remorse when I light you like some torches. The flames is enormous, burning universes. Comic in the D's, had to run into some churches. Burst through the curtains, see him looking nervous. Took a fair wife, ripped the soul from her cervix. Yeah, it's picture perfect, like a bad bitch with a Birkin. The job description is a surgeon. Rip big excursion, smoking weed while I'm sipping bourbon. Burning philosophies of Tyler Durden. What's the rule of Fight Club? Don't treat it like a nightclub. Tell my fucking secrets, you'll be out like a light bulb. Cold with the sniper. Randy Orton, bitch, I'm the Viper. You better dodge, bitch, I'ma bite you. Cosmic maneuvers, gotta use mantras and the mudra. The bad bitch can use the Kama Sutra. Baby, I salute ya. Put your mouth on it like a hookah. She 5'6" and got some bazookas. Fly up to Cuba, train to be a mercenary shooter. And come back and label me a ruler. I need me a suitor, a tall Russian chick that's a cougar. Assassin bitch that carry a Ruger. Hand me the vodka. I think she said her name was Natasha. I had to scratch her name off the roster. Smoking like a Rasta. Shot him dead while he eating pasta. They found out the goon was a mobster, but I'm the monster. Decapitate you all with an Oscar. The gruesome scene will rearrange your posture. That's him up the opera, but I got away in the chopper. Before I left his brains on the locker. Knocked out the copper. Revolutionary spitting proper. We kicking heads off like a soccer. Scorching.
Oh, yeah. Now it's time for part 2. New exclusive. Scorching Freestyle 2. Let's go.
Phenom Rogue One Productions.
And you know we play it twice.
Lock your head in the orbit, flow tight like a corset. Slice your body up and rearrange all the corpses. Sail all the organs, billions for every portion. Call a war leader, I tortured them, then I scorched them. See your skin peel off, then I gotta dip off. Flip off all of the feds, cause they hiss off. Forged in the fire, incinerating the liars. Everybody else getting hit with the sniper. I was born a fighter, close quarters combat, contact, snapping your neck was in the contract. Hurricane for hire, all black attire. Got a bad chick, she's the shooter and the driver. Badass assassins, laugh at the madness. Have to blast the fastest while I blast you evil bastards. Better call the evac, but they won't be back. Cause the RPG took them out, did you see that? Hit you with the new shit, the enemies are clueless. I render everything in your arsenal useless. I am the catalyst, it is unanimous. Use my ancient powers, put them all in paralysis. Smoking on the cannabis, take the advantages. Wrap your ass up in some barbed wire bandages. Video analysis, hacking every nation. Fuck volunteer, destroy they surveillance. Ran out of patience, slaughtered like I'm Jason. And you want a hook, leave you trapped in my basement. Archon destroyer, yes I'll destroy you. Destroy entities in the guise of the Goya. Fuck superstition, governments, religions. Occupy the ghetto, we gotta send the children. Fuck age restriction, they tracking your position. Governments and parliaments, they all in opposition. Ain't no competition, sorry to hurt your feelings. Style master bitch, hurricane is in the building. Y'all better listen, better pay attention. Send the globalist to a fiery dimension. Scorch.
Phenom Rogue One Productions.
Salute Philly OG. You know we gotta play it again. No exclusive.
Now Rogue One Productions.
Lock your head in the orbit, flow tight like a corset. Slice your body up and rearrange all the corpses. Sail all the organs, billions for every portion. Call a war leader, I tortured them, then I scorched them. See your skin peel off, then I gotta dip off, flip off all of the feds, cause they hiss off. Forced in the fire, incinerate the liars. Everybody else getting hit with the sniper. I was born a fighter, close quarters combat, contact, snapping your neck was in the contract. Hurricane for hire, all black attire. Got a bad chick, she's the shooter and the driver. Badass assassins, laugh at the madness. Have to blast the fastest while I blast you evil bastards.
You already know.
But they won't be back, cause the RPG took them out. Did you see that? Hit you with the new shit. The enemies are clueless. I render everything in your arsenal useless. I am the catalyst. It is unanimous. Use my ancient powers, put them all in paralysis. Smoking on the cannabis. Take the advantages. Wrap your ass up in some barbed wire bandages. Final analysis. Hacking every nation. Fuck volunteer. Destroy they surveillance. Ran out of patience. Slaughter like I'm Jason. And you want a hook, leave you trapped in my basement. Archon destroyer. Yes, I'll destroy you. Destroy entities in the guise of the Goya. Fuck superstition. Governments, religions. Occupy the ghetto, we gotta save the children. Fuck age restriction. They tracking your position. Governments and parliaments, they all in opposition. Ain't no competition. Sorry to hurt your feelings. Style master bitch, hurricane is in the building. Y'all better listen. Better pay attention. Send the globalist to a fiery dimension. Scorch you.
Now Rogue One Productions.
Hey, you already know. Now it's time for the news.
This is the HHN Special Report with your anchor, Hurricane, and the lovely Vanta, the UK correspondent. It's time to give you some news. We got our girl out there in the field.
Hi, I'm Amelia. I'm English,
Go to
and
the
I
UK.
love England. I like having fish and chips and a pint at the local pub. I like Shakespeare and Dickens, Tolkien and Lewis, Harry Potter. I like pork sausage and dogs and fashion.
Haram! Haram!
But I don't like that. Brits are famously polite, but it mustn't mean we're willing to commit cultural suicide. Our institutions, the Church of England, the BBC, are a bunch of queers and nonces. How the bloody hell did we go from Churchill to you git? Sadiq Khan, the mayor? This is London, mate, not Afghanistan. Or Star Wars. Our government won't even protect our schoolgirls from grooming gangs. Sod off, wankers! The police won't help. They're too busy confiscating garden tools and suppressing free speech.
That's right, miss. What have I done, officer? You've tweeted rudely, and you're under arrest.
Curry is fine, but we have several recipes already. There are 50 Islamic nations in the world. Muslims don't need to be on our island. They want to conquer it. The government says it must be this way. That doesn't make it right, does it, Robin Hood? These dragons that threaten our England won't go away unless brave knights rise up to slay them. Or did all the British bloodlines with any bollocks get killed off in World Wars I and II? Englishmen, it's your country, and it's being taken from you. Chav, posh, doesn't matter. We're already all in this together. I don't want this to be the future of the women of England, and I'm sure the women of Iran and Afghanistan didn't want it either. Your ancestors beat the Spanish Armada, Napoleon, and the Nazis. Surely you can handle welfare tourists. History will record what you do or don't do. Get cracking, lads. Love, Amelia.
All right, we're in the UK. We're in the UK, Vanta. What's What's going on with Starmer? He's a wanker.
So Keir Starmer is expected to face a vote about whether to investigate him over this issue of misleading Parliament over the Lord Mandelson scandal.
It comes ahead of Speaker Sir Lindsay Hoyle addressing MPs, which could be any moment now.
Well, the move follows claims that Sir Keir Starmer may have misled Parliament over the appointment of Peter Mandelson as US ambassador. And there are two main charges here, but let's go straight to the House of Commons.
Numerous honourable and right honourable members from across the House have written to ask me to give precedence to a matter as an issue of privilege. One of those letters is from the Leader of the Opposition. The matter concerns the Prime Minister's answers to the House about the process for the appointment of Peter Mandelson and related issues. I think it would be helpful to the House if I explain my role in deciding whether a complaint should be put to the House. Privilege issues should only be brought to the House sparingly, and it is my duty to act as a gatekeeper to ensure that frivolous applications are not taken forward. As a gatekeeper, my role is to decide whether an honourable member has made a case which the House itself should be able to consider, not to decide whether someone is likely to have committed a contempt. If precedence is given, the member tables a motion for debate. At the end of the debate, the House itself takes a decision on whether the matter should be taken further. Some may be wondering why this issue is being looked at now. To be clear, I cannot determine whether an application is made. I have to consider any application when it comes to me. In this case, having taken advice, I have decided to allow the House to come to a view on whether the Committee of Privileges should look at the matter. It is not for me to make any decision or view. Therefore, the Leader of the Opposition will have the opportunity to put the matter to the House tomorrow. The debate will be taken after any urgent questions and statements or any 10-minute rule bill. We now come to question of Secretary of State for Works and Pensions, James McCleary.
Question number one, Mr. Speaker.
Minister.
With permission, Mr. Speaker, I'd like to answer questions 1, 3 and 22 together. The government has made its decision on this case on the 29th of January 2026 after giving the PSHO's report careful consideration. The detailed reasons for our decision were set out in our response, which has been placed in the House Library.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Well, we were hearing from the Speaker there that, as we expected, there will be a vote on whether the Prime Minister is to be referred to the Privileges Committee. To repeat what the Speaker said, this doesn't mean that the Speaker believes the Prime Minister has misled the House of Commons, but this does mean that the House of Commons has a right to say whether or not the Prime Minister should be referred to the committee to decide if he has.
So just for viewers at home, the Speaker said then that tomorrow the Leader of the Opposition, Kevin Badenoch, will have the opportunity to address the House on this matter. So just for viewers at home, Tom, explain what that will entail.
Well, that'll be a debate on this issue, leading to a vote on this issue at the end of the day. There's going to be a lot of debate, frankly, over whether or not members of Parliament will be whipped on this issue, forced to vote with the government, because the government has a huge majority.
Hello, I'm Bev Turner. Now, it can feel like the money in our bank accounts at the moment does not keep up with the cost of living. And maybe there's a solution.
In the past, these sorts of votes haven't been whipped. What could happen here? Let's speak to Catherine Forster, our chief political correspondent. Catherine, this is going to be a big day tomorrow now.
Oh, an absolutely huge day. Morgan McSweeney and others giving evidence to the Foreign Affairs Select Committee in the morning, which could be very, very damning for the Prime Minister. And then tomorrow afternoon, this debate that the Speaker has authorised, he said that he is the gatekeeper. To ensure that frivolous accusations are not taken forward. But he clearly believes that this is not frivolous. So Kemi Badenoch will be able to put the matter to the House of Commons tomorrow. There will be a big debate, vote. Currently, we suspect that it might be whipped, in which case the Prime Minister should win comfortably. But that did not happen with Boris Johnson. And just worth remembering the irony of this, really, because Labour got elected saying that they would end the chaos, end the infighting, that they would bring calm, competent government. The Prime Minister was so vociferous about standards in public life. And Boris Johnson the Tory Prime Minister, who was investigated by the Privileges Committee, wasn't brought down over this. He was brought down over comments he'd made over inappropriate sexual comments by Chris Pincher, one of his backbench MPs. But that Partygate committee, that went on for months and months and months and months, and ultimately it found that Boris Johnson had, they said, deliberately misled Parliament on multiple occasions. So there's the potential that this wouldn't be wrapped up quickly, although I do think in this instance it's nowhere near as wide-ranging as Partygate. There's two allegations that he said due process was followed when it wasn't, and that he said there'd be no pressure brought to bear on the Foreign Office when Ollie Robbins from the Foreign Office had said different. But it all is yet another nightmare for the Prime Minister just ahead of the local elections. He's incredibly unpopular. He clearly bitterly regrets the day that he appointed Peter Mandelson, but it just keeps coming back to bite him.
Obviously, when Boris Johnson faced the Privileges Committee investigation, when that finally concluded, he resigned his seat in Parliament because he thought he would be, well, I mean, I'm not sure what he thought. I'm sure he thought he would have been approved in a vote, but of course there was the chance that Parliament could have voted him out of his seat, and he resigned. One might say that Boris Johnson put his case forward to that committee, saying he didn't knowingly mislead Parliament. The quote-unquote parties that subsequently became described as parties, well, many of them involving civil servants, he wasn't even there. And the one that he was found guilty for by the Metropolitan Police, I'm not sure any right-thinking person would describe it as a party. It was the then Prime Minister Boris Johnson, Rishi Sunak, standing sullenly around the cabinet table with a glass of orange juice and some damp-looking sandwiches. I mean, not a big party, and yet they found against him. There's a risk now for the Prime Minister, for Keir Starmer, because he was so unequivocal about no pressure being applied to the Foreign Office, and that's not what the Foreign Office civil servants seem to think.
No, indeed. And that party, if you can call it that, where they had a bit of cake and juice in a room, was actually reported by the Times newspaper at the time, and nobody thought anything of it. But I think it's a nightmare for the Prime Minister, but it is quite difficult to prove that you knowingly misled Parliament. I think the argument about due process is one that you could spin it in any direction. Perhaps the undue pressure is a little bit more difficult, but certainly an additional problem for a really beleaguered Prime Minister who used to be so holier than thou about such matters.
Catherine Forster, thank you very much indeed. Let's turn now to political commentary.
I wonder what they're going to do. Like, Prime Minister, you got to take a lie detector test. Take the lie detector test, Prime Minister. You wanker.
To Theo Usherwood, because Theo, that's the problem here, isn't it? The Prime Minister was so holier than thou just a few years ago.
Yes, and of course, the Prime Minister, when he was in leader of the opposition, was very effective at Prime Minister's questions in holding Boris Johnson's feet to the fire. I think the view at the time was, were it not for the way that he led the Labour Party, and particularly the way he performed at Prime Minister's questions, Boris Johnson would not have found himself in as much trouble as he did at that particular time. I think the crux of Number 10's argument at the moment is that this is, and I was listening to Emma Reynolds, one of the ministers, different minister earlier, was making the point that this is about, from the government's point of view, about playing political games by opposition parties when we are so close to the local elections. The question for Labour MPs, and this is what they're going to be wrestling with, because it would be a sign of weakness if the Labour whips, the government whips, felt that they had to impose a whip when Boris Johnson, when it came down to that vote, didn't impose a whip. What the question they're going to be wrestling with is, actually, is now the time to vote against the government, to actually vote with the opposition parties, so that this investigation can be conducted by the Privileges Committee in full knowledge that it may well find against the Prime Minister. And of course, if the committee were to determine that the Prime Minister knowingly misled the House of Commons, then that would be a breach of the ministerial code. And if he was to follow precedents, then he would have to stand down as Prime Minister.
Theo, we just heard Catherine Forster saying there that this might well be a vote that is whipped. We don't know kind of to what level that whip would come in at yet. Obviously, if it were whipped, it looks likely that it would go in Keir Starmer's favour, given the large Labour majority. But if it isn't whipped, if it's like that Boris Johnson one, that it isn't whipped.
You just said that, Martha. It was like, obviously Starmer going to win because he got the majority. You said that. And they keep on saying whip. And every time you say whip, I always think about that song. Now whip it into shape. Stretch it up. Get it straight. Go forward. Move ahead. Talk to a detective. It's not too late to whip it. Whip it good. I don't know why that song called. Because I was dancing to that bitch on the fucking Dance Central. Me and my daughter dancing to it. But that shit the shit though. But we need revolutions more than elections everywhere. That should go on a t-shirt, baby. And screenshot that and get ready to put that on the t-shirt.
What could that mean in your mind?
So if it weren't to be whipped, and of course Labour MPs were to go against it,
Dude said whipped again. Whip it good.
then to go, against the government's wishes. So to go against, it wouldn't be, if you go against the whip, then you can lose the whip and you'd have to sit as an independent MP. If there is no whip and they decide to vote against the government position, then they would be spared any disciplinary measures. And what will be going through Labour MPs' minds, what they'll be talking about, we'd imagine this evening and going into tomorrow, is the impact of that decision, the effect, what would happen if they were to actually rebel. From what little I've picked up, there is a sense, and this is something that Number 10 are leaning heavily on, and you heard Darren Jones, the Chief Secretary to the Prime Minister, at the weekend, that we've still got 8 months potentially of the impact, the fallout from the Strait of Hormuz and the disruption in the Middle East as a result of the conflict there, that actually this is not the time necessarily to move against the Prime Minister by approving such a vote for the Privileges Committee to investigate. They may well just actually want to keep their powder dry, see what happens after the local elections, and therefore, and if they are going to move against the Prime Minister, for it to be a bit more orderly than finding him dragged before the Privileges Committee and potentially being ousted for office for breaking the rules that he very much preached when he was leader of the opposition.
And yet, this is just referring to an investigation. I mean, it might look a little dishonourable if they say, we're absolutely not going to allow the Prime Minister to be investigated. It looks like they've got something to hide on that issue.
There is a danger of that, Tom, yes. There is a danger of that. You're very right to point that out, that there is very much a danger that if they simply shut it down, of course, the Reform, the Greens, and the Tories and Lib Dems will all make the point that when you've actually shut down the investigation, you've got something to hide. Yeah, absolutely, there's a risk.
Well, Theo Usherwood, thanks indeed for joining us.
Shit is going crazy. All because of that Madness and shit. But shout out to my lovely UK correspondent. She said the whips. Yep. Our MPs delegated to whipping up support among parties. This is why this is my UK correspondent. You know what I'm saying? I got my UK with the boots on the ground, baby. Keeping the sniper ready. Now, you got to talk about the homeless problem.
Louisiana is not just seeking to pass a bill that criminalizes homelessness, mirroring the goals of the Trump administration and the Republican Party at large, authorizing arrests and fines for those forced to sleep outside. But council members are now also publicly warning all of us about the internment camp provisions and descriptions of forced treatment paid for by unpaid labor after arrest. I'm going to detail all of this for you, but first, the Republican who proposed this bill had the audacity to say this about her goals.
We're not looking to jail anyone. We're looking to integrate them with the criminal justice system in an effort to connect them to service providers.
Not looking to jail, looking to integrate with the criminal justice system. What a spin. As of the recording of this video, HB 211, a bill that they're calling the Streets to Success Act, has passed the Louisiana House and is headed to the Senate, referred to the Committee on the Judiciary seat. And this is an important one to follow because Republicans are testing the waters here. How far can they go? What can they get away with? And some aspects of this bill mirror what we've already seen in other parts of the country in the aftermath of Grants Pass v. Johnson, the Supreme Court case that gave the green light to cities looking to criminalize the act of sleeping outside, that said it is not cruel and unusual punishment to arrest people sleeping outside, even when they have nowhere else to go. A direct attack on people living in poverty who need help, not handcuffs. And HB 211 is similar to what other cities have done in one regard, and then in others, like internment camps and forced unpaid labor, it goes much further in a test of how far we will allow this to go. So we cannot be silent. Please get the word out about this. Here's how it is similar to other laws that we've seen before. On a first conviction, offenders would face a fine of not more than $500, imprisonment for not more than 6 months, or both. On a second or subsequent conviction, offenders would face a fine of not more than $1,000 and imprisonment with or without hard labor for not less than 1 year nor more than 2 years. Now, we've unfortunately seen these types of bans with increased frequency since the SCOTUS case, with many cities moving to funnel resources into harassment and criminalization instead of affordable housing, rent protections, and social services. And we've also seen an increase in these types of bans since Trump's executive order ending crime and disorder on America's streets, which I did a video on, as you can see there. But I told you that we have explicit warnings about internment camp provisions and forced unpaid labor. Let's start with the warning from Council Member Leslie Harris, who is urging the state to reject HB 211. Beyond the cost to taxpayers, I am also concerned about what HB 211 would mean for Louisiana's courts. The bill would make sleeping in public a criminal offense, carrying fines of up to $500 and a minimum of 6 months in prison for a first offense with doubled penalties for subsequent convictions. Thousands of cases involving unhoused individuals would flow into a court system that is already under significant strain. Judges, public defenders, and prosecutors would be tasked with processing an enormous new caseload, pulling time and resources away from serious criminal matters and slowing justice for everyone. The bill's internment camp provisions raise additional concerns. Local governments could only establish these facilities in areas that would not affect surrounding property values, placing them far from public transportation, employment, and the very services people need to get back on their feet. This is not a path to stability. It is a path to further isolation. Now, this maps onto the goals of the Trump administration and the Republican Party, particularly with what we're seeing in Utah, where they are building a camp on the outskirts of Salt Lake City, where people suffering in poverty can be tossed away out of sight. And when the reporting on that facility in Utah first broke, advocates said, wait, you're proposing a prison. Where is this headed?
Right, it's a fucking prison.
Want to rehabilitate people, but
it's like they're telling you like it's a prison. There's so many other words without saying prison. It's like the dog. You're taking these people off the street and you putting them in internment camps, or now y'all trying to say, all right, fuck, let's just put them in prison, or like put them with the prisoners. And they're creating FEMA camps instead of just creating homeless shelters. They got all these abandoned buildings all over the place in the United States, but no one wants to fix it up and save the homeless or help starving families. Oh yeah, they'll do it, but like it'll be a 15-minute smart city where you can be under constant surveillance. Okay. But really, they're really trying to kill off the homeless and the poor. And the only people that's going to be left is the fucking automatons that love this government and love this fucked up religion. It's going to be crazy out here. But me and you going to be holding it down, Vata. Viva la revolution.
Taking them from their community and moving them away from the city, away from public transportation, away from the services that they rely on, away from the ability to apply for and maintain employment with the resources that cities offer to make those things accessible to people who have no home. So what does that mean for labor? And many advocates have been shamed for being hyperbolic when they float unpaid labor in these camps. But Louisiana decided to give us all the evidence that this is, in fact, where all this is headed, because in the Streets to Success Act, you can opt into treatment instead of jail, into a 12-month program, the details of which are still a bit fuzzy outside of creating camps and unpaid labor. Look at this on page 10 of the bill, which I'll link to in the description below. To the extent of his financial resources, a defendant who is placed under the supervision of the Homelessness Court Program may be required to pay a portion of or the entire cost of the treatment program to which he is assigned, and the cost of any additional supervision that may be required as determined by the Homelessness Court Program. If the defendant does not have the financial resources to pay all of the related costs of the probation program, any of the following may occur. And let's look at B here. The court, with the recommendation of the treatment program, may order the defendant to perform supervised work for the benefit of the community in lieu of paying all or part of the costs relating to his treatment and supervision. The work shall be performed for and under the supervising authority of a parish, municipality, or other political subdivision or agency of this state, or a charitable organization that renders service to the community or its residents. So they arrest you because you're homeless and have nowhere to go. And they tell you that you can go to jail or you can enter a treatment program. A treatment program that could cost more than $4,000 a week, by the way, if we look at the average cost of residential treatment in Louisiana. Oh, but you can't pay that because you can't even pay rent amid the housing affordability crisis because you're homeless. Well, you can work to pay for the treatment program that you were forced to enter because you don't want to be in jail and or can't pay the fines associated with being arrested for sleeping outside. It couldn't be more clear that this is about harm and removing visible poverty from the streets and tossing people away. It is disgusting. It's horrifying.
Yes.
None of the words are good enough to describe this. And what's particularly disgusting, we'll go with that one, about all of this, aside from the obvious hallmarks of white supremacy and the obvious harms to people suffering in poverty, is that like so many other areas where Republicans put in place red tape, like, work requirements that often cost more to implement than it would cost to simply pay for life-saving essential benefits like Medicaid or SNAP, this system that they want to create of incarcerating people in poverty is going to harm, number one, but also it's going to be difficult to navigate, complicated, and it's going to extract resources where they could better be spent on what has been successful in reducing homelessness. And as always, that's a housing first program. And Louisiana has one. The program is...
What's the solution to that? After all I just heard, the solution to that shit right there for anyone that can't get out of Louisiana, most of those homeless people, and I see it all the fucking time, there's ways for them to go to a shelter, get help, get cleaned up, but they don't want to do it. Some of the motherfuckers are troublemakers and be stealing from motherfuckers. The other majority of the motherfuckers have burnt bridges with friends and family. So they out there with no hope. They not even trying to grab an abando and bust that bitch open to go to sleep and try to stay warm or some shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, they completely gone. But the ones with a head on their shoulders, if y'all hear me, no matter where y'all at, y'all don't gotta be in Louisiana. Y'all could be anywhere in the world. Go back to your family members or your friends and apologize. Like real shit. Try to rekindle some shit because y'all about to get locked the fuck up for being homeless. And you're going to need a resource to house you until you get on your feet. Now you're going to be forced to get on your feet now because you didn't want to fucking do it. But there's some motherfuckers that's so stuck in their ways in this shit. They don't know how to talk. They don't know how to work. They will sabotage and steal on the clock and might get fired. We got to be careful. Like the mentality of these people are, like a majority, I was saying like 80-something% is fucking lost in the head. And they need real help, like a warm bed, a shower, and a counselor to talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Some books to read, TV to watch. Don't treat it like a crazy house, but like treat these people with respect and kindness, but like just getting them off the street. Because if I motherfucker do that shit, the only thing they gotta do for me is some revolutionary shit. I know I gotta help out the homeless and the veterans. The veterans gonna watch over the homeless. Somebody gotta watch over. Give them something to do, give them a job to do, and when the revolution start, they already know how to shoot. Bars. Let's get back to it.
Called Home for Good, and the aforementioned Councilmember Leslie Harris referenced this program in the statement I read from previously. New Orleans has spent the last 2 years building something that works. We have housed over 1,500 of our neighbors, closed major encampments across the city, and made our communities safer, all at a cost that makes fiscal sense. I am asking Louisiana to look at what we have accomplished before moving forward with a bill that would cost far more, deliver far less, and create an entirely new burden on our already strained court system. Through our Home for Good program, we house an individual for roughly $21,844 per year.
Yep, I heard about that.
Jailing that same person costs an average of $51,000, and failing to act at all can cost up to $55,000 in emergency room visits and crisis rehousing. HB 211 would steer Louisiana toward the most expensive option while producing no lasting housing, no services, and no real path forward for the people involved. And this is what Republicans do every single time, because the goal is to harm, it's to punish, it's to toss away, rather than to do what is helpful, what works based on the evidence. And if you care about the cost, if that's your most important concern, they also refuse to do what is most cost effective. But as we close here, I want to read a statement published by Housing Not Handcuffs, because we can't ignore the ghosts of history in this bill. This bill requires homeless people to pay for the very treatment they are forced into. And if the person cannot pay the cost of treatment, the bill requires them to perform unpaid labor for the government or a community organization to pay off their debt. Louisiana has a long history and present of chain gangs, prison labor, and entrenched white supremacy. This bill clearly evokes debtors' prisons, convict leasing, and the ugliest day of Jim Crow. Yep. We can all agree that the creation of a two-tiered justice system where people are punished differently for the same crime, depending simply on whether or not they are homeless, is just too extreme. And Housing Not Handcuffs is an important national campaign that you should definitely be following and supporting. I'll have a link to learn more about that organization in the description. But they're right. And we all know the poem, first they came for, but Trump has been coming for a lot of people for a long time now. And he's still going. And we can't let these evil people win. It matters that you stand with people who are living on the streets, who have no power, who are being crushed under the weight of the federal and local governments trying to hide them away. It matters that you stand with trans people who are continuously painted as the enemy. It matters that you stand against racists and white supremacy. If we hedge on these issues, everything falls. So if you live in Louisiana, get involved at a local level and ensure that your elected officials understand what is at stake. This can still be stopped. It requires our collective voices to stop it, though. Republicans do not want attention. They do not want eyes on this. They want people to turn away and say, this isn't my problem. This won't impact me. I have too much to worry about. But that's how they win. That's how this gets passed. No. We, you, me, whoever is watching this, we must refuse. Please raise your voice. Raise alarm, share this video, share any of the links in the description.
You already know,
all eyes on Louisiana. We must stop this injustice.
That's right. Now, who are the bad guys? I used to watch this channel called Unredacted Tonight. YouTube has fucked over his channel, so this is his last video. And I'm surprised I haven't played any of his shit, because I was already, I was already catching shit early. But I try to catch his channel whenever I can. But it's time to go. YouTube got him. Well, we got to keep fighting.
I realized I need to do it by explaining that right now, we're the bad guys. It's us. The U.S. is not only ruled by psychopaths, as I've explained before. Those psychopaths also exhibit the telltale signs of what they call in the biz arrested psychological development. They think like children. Secretary of War and three-time reigning alcoholic of the year, Pete Hegseth, will often refer to getting the bad guys. Meanwhile, Donald Trump will often say that the people he seeks to destroy are very bad people. Sometimes he'll sprinkle in an ugly if he's feeling saucy. So why not explain this topic to these children in a way that they can really understand?
And plus, YouTube is hating on him. He's a comedian also. I didn't even know until, because I just came across this guy maybe 2 or 3 months ago. So I wasn't really fully entrenched in the channel, but I saw a couple episodes, maybe 3 or 4, but he was covering the same shit I was covering. So every time I saw a notification of him pop up, I'm like, all right, I already covered that. I don't need to watch it. I already covered that. I don't need to watch it. But oh shit, the YouTube acting up. Please tell me how that sound. How we sounding? Is we good? Oh, no, it's fine. Okay, cool. Oh, no, you said it's something that they fucking with a person's channel. Yeah. Yeah, it sound like a motherfucker. And not in a good way. But yeah. But the United States is the bad guys.
So here are 12 ways you know we're actually the bad guys, aka the baddies. Number one, committing crimes against humanity, defined as widespread or systematic attacks directed against a civilian population. Yeah, we do that shit all day, every day. That's our thing now. In the war against Iran, the U.S. has targeted schools, universities, hospitals, civilian infrastructure, anything we can find. These are all crimes against humanity. And it's constant.
And they're killing us through the food, through the water, through the air, through disease over here. It's crimes against humanity and treasonous against his own people. Our government deserves to die. We need to eradicate those motherfuckers. Everybody at that White House correspondent dinner, they all should have got hit up by the Joker.
Do you remember when Billie Eilish was she first hit and it was just everywhere? You couldn't get away from it. That's U.S. crimes against humanity now. It's everywhere, all the time, everywhere, every country. We're the Billie Eilish of crimes against humanity. And it's no secret.
I remember when Lil Wayne was everywhere. Lil Wayne was everywhere. Rap, R&B, pop, and rock. I think Kanye pulled the same shit. We the Lil Wayne of terrorism.
About it. When you're committing crimes against humanity, you're the bad guys.
Yep.
Number two, committing terrorism. To figure out if it's terrorism, just look at those same crimes against humanity and decide if they are also intended to create fear and achieve political, ideological, or religious aims. Let me think. Literally no other reason exists for bombing school children other than to create fear in a society. It's a dictionary definition of terrorism. And while groups like ISIS or Al-Qaeda are also made up of terrorists, they couldn't dream of killing 100 children in one shot. The U.S. empire is a far more successful and prolific terrorist. Those other groups look up to us. You remember when you were a kid shooting hoops, trying to be great? That's what Al-Qaeda and ISIS are. But the U.S. is the Michael Jordan poster on their wall. They wish they could terrorize as many as we do. When you're committing terrorism, you're the bad guys. Number three, allying with well-known terrorists. We work with those same groups. It's no secret that the U.S., Israel, and the U.K. have worked extensively with ISIS and Al-Qaeda when it's useful. Kid Clarenberg just a few weeks ago detailed how the CIA and MI6 created ISIS. Former Al-Qaeda leader.
CIA and the James Bond people. That's the United States and the UK, Vata. We got to destroy our governments. That's why we the revolution over here, and over there we are the Invisibles, baby. I'm King Mob and you are my Red Robin. Now let's go motherfucking kill some motherfucking evil people. Let's go do it, baby. And I've been saying that shit forever. The CIA was Al-Qaeda, they worked with Mossad, and there was ISIS. And I think they Hamas too. They the Twin de la Agra.
Ahmed al-Shara, a.k.a. Abu Muhammad al-Jalani, was installed as president of Syria by the U.S. and U.K. And recently, he has been the guest of honor in the White House and Buckingham Palace. Apparently, fellow terrorists actually make fast friends. We have the same interests, passions, views on whether other people should get to live.
James Bond.
When you're working with terrorists,
about five. Oh, yeah.
Or funding and arming genocide. If you disagree with the assertion that we do that, I would ask you which part you disagree with. The funding and arming part or the part about Gaza facing genocide? If it's the latter part, perhaps you should take it up with those 25 highly respected, internationally renowned human rights organizations that have come to the conclusion that Israel has committed genocide in Gaza. If it's the funding and arming part, then you clearly haven't read any things. You should try reading all the rage. No, you're right. Reading blows. There's no fast forward button, no hot actress with her tits out. It's true. My bad. Reading. You see, in Gaza, it's U.S. bombs and U.S. money and U.S. approval that have made the genocide possible. Here's just one little example. The U.S., specifically Anthony Blinken, even approved bombing aid trucks in Gaza. When you're funding and arming genocide, you're the bad guys. Number 5, killing roughly 44 million innocent people over the past 50 years. I do have to apologize because that number's not quite accurate. I really am sorry for the fake news. The true number is likely much higher than that. The 44 million estimate comes from taking the Lancet Medical Journal report that 38 million people were killed by U.S.-EU economic wars and adding it to the roughly 6 million killed by the U.S. global war on terror since 2001. Since these are not the only places and ways the U.S. has killed people, the number is probably higher. When you kill over 44 million innocent people, you're the bad guys. Number 6, supporting apartheid. What? Where? Where's the apartheid? Oh, Israel. Yeah, it's totally apartheid. Well, I mean, only if you mean like literal, actual apartheid. Then, yeah, that's it. When you're on the side of apartheid, you're the bad guys. Number 7, being one of the only countries to vote against slavery being considered a crime against humanity. Not making this shit up. The U.S. voted against.
Yeah, we was on the JVJ network. JVJ, shouts out to the JVJ network. We covered this shit. The United States was a motherfucker voted that, yo, man, slavery wasn't a crime against humanity. Y'all tripping. You ain't gonna take my money.
Calling slavery a crime against humanity? That's a good look. So what would you call slavery then? A less than savory business practice? A frowned upon efficiency booster? How about a distasteful but necessary trade secret? What the f would you call it? When you're on the side of slavery, you're the bad guys. Number 8, laying siege to innocent people. Unless you want to argue an infant in Cuba is a guerrilla fighter, then you kind of have to admit the U.S. is starving a peaceful island full of innocent people who like to smoke cigars and dance. When you're starving children, you're the bad guys. Number 9, kidnapping a democratically elected leader of a sovereign nation. No further explanation needed.
Venezuela.
When you find yourself murdering 100 people to kidnap a president, you're the bad guys. Number 10, trying to gaslight the world.
And blowing up drug boats. No. Alleged drug boats. And coming to find out that it wasn't no drug boats at all. They was killing innocent people. Now, in this next one is called gaslighting the fucking world.
Into thinking the country that hasn't bombed anyone in decades is the true threat. Yep, China is totally the real threat. Not the country murdering hundreds of thousands. No, not the country with 800 military bases around the world. Not the country bombing schoolhouses. No, it's not over here. Yeah, get him. When you're trying to claim the country that isn't killing any innocent people is the bad guys, you're the bad guys. Number 11, calling those who work to protect the natural world terrorists. Yes, Trump calls environmentalists terrorists.
What they've done to the country is just incredible. The environmentalists, I mean, they are terrorists. They were terrorists. I call them the environmental terrorists.
I'm tempted to say he doesn't understand what the word terrorist means because he doesn't understand a lot of shit, but in fact, it kind of makes sense. If you're in the business of destroying the natural world, then those who get in the way of your life passion could be quite terrifying. When you call environmentalists terrorists, you're the bad guys. Number 12, voting against UN anti-Nazi resolutions. Yep, that's us. We voted against combating the glorification of Nazism. In fact, we voted against it many times. Why? I guess because the U.S. government likes Nazis. Look up Operation
Paperclip.
Or Operation Gladio, or Operation Holy Shit, the U.S. government loves Nazis. I feel like it goes without saying that if you're trying to defend Nazis, you're the bad guys. I know I haven't listed all the ways you can tell we're the bad guys, but hopefully I hit on some of the best ones. We're the bad guys. Break yourself.
Yep. But yet, me doing shit like this putting out the news and the truth and exposing the enemy. We're the bad guys. They call us the terrorists for putting out the truth. We're the bad guys. And for terrorists to call a non-terrorist a terrorist, you're the bad guys.
The idea. I know I haven't listed all the ways you can tell we're the bad guys, but hopefully I hit on some of the best ones. We're the bad guys! It's us! Break yourself of the idea that we're trying to stop the bad guys. The question then becomes, if we're the baddies, what do we do about it? How do we behave? Do we just go about our lives? Do we just go to the grocery store on Tuesday?
We start a fucking revolution. The only solution is revolution. Destroy your government now.
Tuesdays and pub trivia night on Thursdays? It's tough to say. But the future of humanity may hinge on whether we start to understand this reality, and soon.
So we live and learn. Yep. They don't like that I can read through the frequencies in their music with their puppet artists. That's right. Salute, live and learn. Salute, Jordan.
Peace. They want the U.S. and Israel to stop bombing Iran and killing innocent people. They want Israel's genocide of Gaza to end. They want to hinder Israel's new genocide in Lebanon. They want the U.S. not to kidnap President Maduro. They want the U.S. not to lay siege to Cuba until its people starve. Blah, blah, blah. You get it? You get it. All of those wishes or demands are lame. Sorry to say it like it is, but peace is boring. It achieves nothing. At least that's the case for Donald Trump, Benjamin Netanyahu, and many others. And we should really follow their lead because they are our betters and our leaders. And they wear suits worth more than our children. No, literally, Trump wore a $20,000 suit. My kid, he's wearing like $2,000, maybe $3,000 on a good day, like when he's actually behaving himself and pooping in the vicinity of the toilet. Like you can tell there was an angle towards the toilet. Now, I know some of you are going to say Trump and Netanyahu are the exact definition of psychopaths. This is totally true. I'm not even arguing that. But seeing as they are also epic, patriotic heroes, that clearly means psychopaths make the best rulers. They both need the death and destruction to continue in order to avoid finding themselves in small cages for the rest of their lives and wearing less expensive orange suits. Sure, that's true. Netanyahu has numerous corruption and war crimes charges hanging over his head. Trump faces the same, but also has sexual assault allegations, the Epstein files, you know the deal. You get the picture. But both of them need to remain president of their respective nations in order to avoid arrest and to distract from all those crimes. Killing people in other countries, that's not a crime. That's just talent. But beyond that, peace achieves nothing good. Think about it. If you're a mega awesome country like the USA, spending enough money on your military to feed the world many times over, you can almost do whatever you want to other countries. So the only reason not to spend your time threatening or crushing or destroying or obliterating said countries is if you don't have anything you need from them. But every country has some kind of resource we can covet or pillage. Even the ones you don't think much about, like, I don't know, Trinidad and Tobago. They're near Venezuela, so we want military bases there, spy bases, and they're a bird watcher's paradise. Maybe our pedophile terrorist government officials want to watch a bird every once in a while. So you get done just terrorizing and killing people and pedophiling, and you want to see a cockatoo. You want to watch a little parrot do a thing. You know how it is. Point is, every country has something we want. And if they don't have an obvious resource, then their human beings can be the resource we extract. Like in the Matrix, when the robots have the humans in those pods and they're just like sucking out their life force. Oh, no more Matrix analogies. Man, I had gone 3 months sober, not a single Matrix analogy, and now I gotta give back my 3-month chip. Shit. Point being, peace stops us from being able to truly leech off those other countries in an enormous way. So peace hurts our bottom line. Peace is a boring nuisance. Let me give an analogy. There's like a giant, strong, tough kid in 5th grade, okay? Every day he walks to school next to a kid half his size. Peace would be represented by those two kids walking calmly next to each other to school. Nothing happens. No one gets hurt. No money or toys or candy changes hands. If that big kid is a psychopath, then no one getting hurt has no meaning or value to him. It's boring. It's boring to walk to school like that. But if he hits the small kid in the face, takes his lunch money, very exciting. The big kid profits. People talk about how tough he is. It's far more thrilling and interesting and profitable than silently walking. Peace achieves zilch, zero, war, fighting, unfettered, ruthless assholery. Get stuff done. Point being, peace with Iran achieves nothing. Peace with Cuba achieves nothing. Peace with Venezuela achieves nothing. Hell, peace with our own American citizens, nothing. Peace is only a good thing for the non-psychopathic, non-megalomaniacal, non-ruling elite. Peace only benefits 99.99999% of us. But for the unhinged, patriotic, awesome, cool terrorists who lead the U.S. and Israel, that's boring, unprofitable, stupid. So, folks. Genre to another. Starting to get a little dizzy at this point. But I know one thing. I won't give up. I will continue to juke and jive, duck and dodge around the censorship, the suppression, and the efforts by the U.S. imperial corporate slime molds to shut down my voice. Those slime molds have now succeeded at causing the end of this show, Unredacted Tonight. This time it only took them about 13 months. So congrats, guys. For those of you who need a quick refresher, I had a very popular weekly comedy news TV show called Redacted Tonight for 8 years. I wrote all my words on that show myself, unlike every other comedy news host you've literally ever seen. And I was never told what to say or what not to say. It was the craziest amount of free speech ever seen on American television. We achieved so many important things at that show that I'm proud of. I revealed the rigging of the 2016 primary against Bernie Sanders, certainly the first to cover it on national television. I created the hashtag #ExitPollGate on Twitter, which went viral and alerted millions to the corruption of our so-called democracy. We were also one of the earliest national shows to cover the Standing Rock protest and to reveal the truth about Russiagate. Redacted Tonight was also one of the earlier national shows to cover the story of a person almost no one had heard of at that time, Jeffrey Epstein, is it? Epstein. I can't remember. In 2016, I covered accusations by a young woman who had said in legal filings she had been assaulted at an Epstein party by Donald Trump. At that time, Trump was the no chance in hell GOP presidential primary contender that everyone was just making fun of. We also revealed false flags by the U.S. and Israel and Syria, Gaza, Ukraine, so many others. We covered the truth about the JFK and MLK assassinations that had barely ever been on national television in this country. For covering those topics and countless others, my show had to be stopped by the powers that be. In 2016, the Justice Department greatly restricted the ability of the channel to be seen. They got it banned from most of its distributors. At the same time, my personal Facebook page with 330,000 followers was shadow banned. In 2018, I had attack pieces filled with falsehoods written about me by the New York Times and NPR. Those would not be the last attack pieces against me by national media. Then in 2022, the U.S. government shut down the channel entirely with economic sanctions. You see, the U.S. empire is super strong and super awesome, but evidently can't handle a single channel out of like 1,000 reporting the truth about the U.S. empire. At that same time, within a week, my main YouTube channel was banned around the world, my Spotify podcast banned, my Twitter account was heavily suppressed, and my Facebook continued to be suppressed. I created a new YouTube page, having no connection to RT America, and a new podcast. Of course, starting from scratch on a platform is like taking a nuclear bomb to any kind of growth or fan base. Then in 2023, after only a month or two of speaking out about the genocide in Gaza, my TikTok was banned with no reason and no right to appeal. That happened way before Larry Ellison had bought it and while Biden was still in office. So then last year, as you know, I created my own independent version of Redacted Tonight. This show, Unredacted Tonight. This show is not connected to any TV network or corporate entity. It's just been me doing what I'm good at. Comedy that speaks the truth and fights for peace, justice, sustainability, a better world. At first, it seemed that we would be allowed to grow organically on YouTube, which was all I was hoping for. I didn't care about making a lot of money. I just wanted to see the show growing. For the first 3 or 4 months, the numbers did grow. And the more people saw it, the more they shared it, the better it did. And it was actually doing pretty well. That was all I wanted to see. But then it happened again. The same thing that happens to me whenever anything I do starts to gain traction. The numbers collapsed, just cratered. None of the videos could grow or do well. Nothing I tried made any difference. Haters would love to say at this point, dude, it's not suppression. You just suck. So people don't like your shit. That's all it is. First of all, you sound dumb. Stop making that voice. And also stop being a dick. But here's why that take is provably wrong. It's obvious from the analytics that the crushing of this show was a concerted effort by YouTube or
some good
whoever,
food.
Google. The data makes clear
About
that
to eat
YouTube
after
for a
this.
brief period recommended my videos to people who were likely to enjoy them, as well as recommending my videos to subscribers of this channel, people who had already clicked that they wanted to hear about our videos. That's how YouTube is supposed to work. Then YouTube stopped doing any of that. Neither new viewers nor fans were being alerted to most episodes. Basically, to be alerted about one of these episodes, you have to watch everything I've ever done, and then maybe YouTube will tell you about a new episode. Unfortunately, this show costs me a lot of money to make, since it has no big-time backers, since we're sponsored by nobody, and it can't generate ad dollars without YouTube views. I lose a great deal every month making this show. So while this is the end of Unredacted tonight, I want you to know I'm not giving up. My live streams, I hope you watch, called Dangerous Ideas, will continue every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. My podcasts called Moment of Clarity, The Lee Camp Show, and Common Censored will continue 3 or 4 days a week as well. And my Substack columns will continue to come out every week. That is assuming I can find enough people willing to throw me the cost of one beer per month. I hope you see fit to support my work either at realleecamp.substack.com or patreon.com.
Yep.
Genre.
Yep. But that's that. I get tired of battling the YouTube algorithm. Like it's never an ending battle with this platform. Yeah. Yep. That's why I always say I can't wait to leave this bitch. Give me some nice, good rest, and I come back and start the revolution. Put all my music out. And then when I start the revolution, all my music will be y'all soundtrack. Y'all have permission to download whatever y'all want. And get ready. I'll cough up a lung. You already know. Well, about to play a couple songs and then we're going to get up out of here. You already know. I just dropped a new track. I'm back on my dark rhyme shit now. Y'all ready for this new shit? Let's go. Scorching Part 2.
Lock your head in the orbit, flow tight like a corset. Slice your body up and rearrange all the corpses. Sail all the organs, billions for every portion. Call a war leader, I tortured them, then I scorched them. See your skin peel off, then I gotta dip off. Flip off all of the feds, cause they hiss off. Forced in the fire, incinerate the liars. Everybody else getting hit with the sniper. I was born a fighter, close quarters combat, contact. Snapping your neck was in the contract. Hurricane for hire, all black attire. Got a bad chick, she's a shooter and the driver. Badass assassins, laugh at the madness. Got to blast the fastest while I blast you evil bastards. Better call for evac, but they won't be back, cause the RPG took them out. Did you see that? Hit you with the new shit. The enemies are clueless. I render everything in your arsenal useless. I am the catalyst. It is unanimous. Use my ancient powers, put them all in paralysis. Smoking on the cannabis. Take the advantages. Wrap your ass up in some barbed wire bandages. Final analysis. Hacking every nation. Fuck volunteer. Destroy they surveillance. Ran out of patience. Slaughter like I'm Jason. And you want a hook, leave you trapped in my basement. Archon destroyer. Yes, I'll destroy you. Destroy entities in the guise of the Goya. Fuck superstition. Government's religions. Occupy the ghetto, we gotta save the children. Fuck age restriction, they tracking your position. Governments, the parliaments, they all in opposition. Ain't no competition, sorry to hurt your feelings. Style master bitch, hurricane is in the building.
Thank you, Rob.
Y'all better listen, better pay attention.
Dark
Send
side.
the globalist to a fiery dimension. Scorch.
Phenom Rogue One production.
You know it. Let's speed it up. There's another new exclusive. You already know what it is, how to play it.
Phenom Rogue One production.
To the middle with the song. To the with the call. To the leave me alone.
Speed, give me pedal to the middle when I'm in the zone. With the crown, to the government, they better leave me alone. Leave me alone. Speed, give me pedal to the middle when I'm in the zone. Pedal with the crown, to the government, they better leave me alone. Leave me alone. Speed, give me pedal to the middle when I'm in the zone. Pedal with the crown, to the government, they better leave me alone. Leave me alone. Speed, give me pedal to the middle when I'm in the zone. Pedal with the crown, to the government, they better leave me alone. Coming through the scene, brother, sing it to the maker. Kill living here, get the water style. Get nobody ready when I pull up in the shit. They give a gun, ready, get nobody to the paper. Hold in the pull up, I go on a mission. I can be a ghost and I cause a collision. Making decisions, I'm walking in the building. Pull that bitch up, then I'm killing like a villain. Any money fucking roll, you get it by the clothes. And I gotta get the dough, put the pedal to the floor. Drop out to the bowl, that's the hideout. Everybody don't cry, go, gotta go with the flow. 4-4 till you don't even brainstorm. Everybody down on the floor, cut the bread on the boat. Getting head from the hoe. Leading up the jet, I got a head off the dough. Speed, give me pedal to the middle when I'm in the zone. Hit it with the crown, tell the government they better leave me alone. Leave me alone. Speed, give me pedal to the middle when I'm in the zone. Hit it with the crown, tell the government they better leave me alone. Leave me alone. Speed, give me pedal to the middle when I'm in the zone. Hit it with the crown, tell the government they better leave me alone. Leave me alone. Speed, give me pedal to the middle when I'm in the zone. Hit it with the crown, tell the government they better leave me alone. Running through the scene with the gold automatic. Shooting up the planes, everybody gonna panic. Ain't nobody ready, give a revolutionary. Gotta know the war leaders, I'ma take them up the panic. Can't get it dope, said it before. Make the elites get down on the floor. Activate the red dot, get it with a headshot. So the body gun, leave it right behind a pen shot. Hold on, wait a minute, think I said too much. Matter of fact, I ain't saying enough. For the government, they think they tough. But they ass up from an ice cream truck. Send me on the matter, we can have it when I come through. Close quarters, time back, hit it with the 1-2. Throw on the ground, here again, gonna stuff you. Do things cool to the government, fuck you. Speed, give me pedal to the middle when I'm in the zone. Hit it with the crown, tell the government they better leave me alone. Leave me alone. Speed, give me pedal to the middle when I'm in the zone. Hit it with the crown, tell the government they better leave me alone. Leave me alone. Speed, give me pedal to the middle when I'm in the zone. Hit it with the crown, tell the government they better leave me alone. Leave me alone. Speed, give me pedal to the middle when I'm in the zone. Hit it with the crown, tell the government they better leave me alone. When I'm in the zone.
You already know. HHN is brought to you in part by where is that?
Begin my day until I've had a Dickens cider.
There's nothing better than waking up to a good old Dickens cider.
My girlfriend loves Dickens cider. My sister came to stay with us for a month, and my husband couldn't go a day without the Dickens cider. My girlfriend loves a Dickens cider.
My mom loves the Dickens cider.
My sister loves to wake up in the morning with a Dickens cider.
I'm a bit young, but I would love to try a Dickens cider.
So there you have it. For over 150 years, Frederick Von Dickens has developed a beverage that literally brings women to their knees. So fellas, for the sake of the economy, get a Dickens cider.
You know we gotta get naughty before we get up out of here, man. From a dick, baby. You go with a D, baby. Hey. The Empire.
Time to have a party, time to have a party. Baby girl love it, everybody get naughty. Time to have a party, time to have a party. Baby girl love it, everybody get naughty, get naughty. Get naughty, baby girl get naughty, baby girl get naughty, Walking in the club, ladies show me love. See me on stage, tell that motherfucker love. Baby girl getting low, talking to the flow. Pick it back up, baby, make that ass roll. Out of control, got me saying whoa. Baby twerking on me, girl, you know how it goes. In the drop, singing low, take it to the mo. Baby hop on it soon as the door close. I'm the one that's a chose. Take off my clothes, pull out the camera phone. Wanna see you do a pose, but you're too busy, yo. Time to make a flick. Going for a process when I'm giving her the dick. Baby girl, you the shit. Girl like a party bitch. Double bad chick, say fire like an arsonist. Baby, this a hit. Got another party mix. Call me Santa Claus, had to put you on the naughty list. Time they have a party. Time they have a party. Baby girl love it, then she bout to get naughty. Time they have a party. Time they have a party. Baby girl love it, then she bout to get naughty. Get naughty, 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 get naughty, 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 get naughty, 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 get naughty, 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 naughty. Giving her the business, love it when I'm in it.
Know the time.
Ass over, that's her favorite position. Give it to her raw, going in the deep, fucking all night. About to go to sleep, vibing to the beat while I clap her cheeks. Baby girl screaming and she fucking up the sheets. She the beauty, I'm the beast. Eat it like a feast. Sweet cherry pie, baby, let me get a piece. Detroit, that's the dark. Did it in the park. Under the stars on the hood of a car. She adventurous, we up in the fucking lot. Put up to the job, we was fucking on the clock. They ain't not the world, we been to the drive-in. Treat it like a swimming pool, I'm about to dive in. This a party over here, got you fucking vibing. Grab a naughty girl, yeah, I'm about to slide in. Time to have a party, time to have a party. Baby girl love it, and she about to get naughty. Time to have a party, time to have a party. Baby girl love it, and she about to get naughty. Get naughty, 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 get naughty, 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 get naughty, 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 get naughty, 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 naughty. Time to have a party, time to have a party. Baby girl love it, and she about to get naughty. Time to have a party, time to have a party. Baby girl love it, and she about to get naughty. Get naughty, 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 get naughty, 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 get naughty, 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 get naughty, 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 naughty.
Thank you, Roger. Great HHN. You know what it is. Now for your announcements. Thinking about got something to munch on. My chicken is already done. I was already eating a little bit. About to eat the rest of it. Should be done warming up. I mean, not warmed up. It should be cooled off by now. I grabbed a couple pieces. I was like, okay, cool. Now I'm about to eat real quick. I think I want to go back to playing Resident Evil. I think I want to go back to that Resident Evil 6. You know, I only got a couple chicken wings. I made maybe like 10 of them. Or was it 12 of them? I know I got probably 10 or 11 left. I just got to eat that shit real quick. But yeah, I think I'm gonna get back to the Resident Evil. I just hope that my shit don't look all pixelated. But you about to eat too. That's what's up. So it's 2:22. Don't take that long to eat the wings. I might go live. I'm gonna give you time to make what you gotta eat. So I might go live again around probably 3:30. Yeah, probably around 3:30 my time, and it'll be around 8 o'clock your time. Yeah. I just hope it don't look all pixelated, but I gotta get back to it. I gotta enjoy these days off before I get back to the Tigers game. So I might as well play the game. Let's get some gaming going. You know what I'm saying? I just hope it don't look pixelated. If it look pixelated, just let me know, and I could be able to stop it. YouTube didn't fuck with me today. you know, like at least on the live, it fucked with me when it came to trying to watch something. Everything was like buffing and shit. So like I had to pause the video and let the little white line go over you know, for a long bit so I could watch the video and shit. You know, I was going through that. But they ain't fucking me on the live, so like that's pretty cool. You know, and I was talking about some real shit. So, you know, like we got through it. You'll be there. All right, baby. I'm gonna start around like 3:30, close to 4. And I think I'm on the last chapter. So like, yeah. So just the like end of the game. I should be at the end. So like let's get this popping. Leon and Helena Harper. They don't give Helena Harper her props. Yes, we love Claire Redfield, we love Jill Valentine, but Helena Harper was with Leon S. Kennedy going through some shit. you know, like y'all watched all the crazy gameplay, so it'll be good to end it. And then I think I still got to go back and finish 7 too on the other Xbox. You know, on the Xbox One, on the Xbox One S, I mean. But yeah, we're gonna get to it. Shouts out to everybody coming through. Much love to my UK correspondent, Vonta, the gorgeous, the lovely, the goddess. You already know. And shouts out to everybody in the chat. Jordan, Live and Learn. Mark was in the building. I saw Unc Fed, Big Dog Philly OG. Who else was here? And In the Groove. Salute In the Groove. Yep. Yep, I said Mark. Yep. And Water Style. Can't forget about Water Style Jutsu in the building. Yep. Love your beats, Water Style. And your tracks, your fire. It's fire. And shouts out to Jordan. Great beat that you gave me, dog. Man, that beat fire. Coming through with the info. Let you go. Yep. So catch y'all in a minute. About to eat real quick. Catch y'all around 3:30. We're gonna try to get back to playing Resident Evil 6. You know, like this game, divide the franchise. You either love the game or you hate it. I love the fucking game. Because like when I first played it, I was going through a motherfucking tough time like in my life. You know what I'm saying? And the shit was motherfucking, you know, the shit was crazy. Motherfucker was, how can I put it? What's that word? Homeless. Yeah. So when I was chilling at my uncle's crib, he had the game. And I was like, fuck it, let me sit down and play it. And I'm like, shit, all this shit got me through my tough times. And like when the motherfucking rent manager said that he was selling the building, and then I'm like, God damn. And I just lost my fucking job too. I was like, you know what? I'm going to just motherfucking buy this new Resident Evil 4 remake, chilling this motherfucking bitch until they motherfucking say it's time to go. Right. Great escapism. I was going through it, you know, so, you know, now, like what pisses me off is the shit that I've been going through. You know, as much as you try to avoid the shit, it still follows you. Because, you know, I'm getting paperwork for this house. And it's for the owner. So like, you know, so like I started to the maintenance man and be like, yo, like, you know, like tell the landlady that she gotta call the people. Because it's saying that, you know, like she gotta, you know, call these people, you know, to give them some information. And if she don't give the information, the fucking bank takes the house and they don't give a fuck who in it. They coming with the sheriff and motherfuckers gotta go. And they're gonna tell you, take it up with the rent manager. They're supposed to came over here, took care of business and blah, blah, blah. You know? And then it puts me back in a state where I gotta walk towards that door and be like, worry. Should I worry? I hate worrying. I hate that feeling. So like I meditate, you know, to like try to get over the shit because You could be doing everything right, but the motherfucker that runs the business or runs the block or runs the corporation, if they lose they self and they lose the fucking shit, they don't give a fuck who's there. You know, it's like, goddamn, motherfucker ain't save up no money to get another fucking house just to leave. So like, I hope the rent manager take care of her fucking business. Otherwise, if not, I'm gonna have to save up and plan to get the fuck up out of here. And like, what pisses me off is like when it comes to like owning a house and dealing with the city, and you know about the price of living going up. They're talking about like raising rent, talking about raising utilities and shit, and motherfuckers gotta motherfucker adapt. Man, fuck all that. Somebody gonna have to fucking die. I'm tired of all this surviving shit, tired of all this adaptive shit and all, niggas. Something gotta fucking give. Something gotta fucking give, or somebody gonna fucking die. Simple as that. Because we don't gotta pay no fucking taxes, don't gotta pay no fucking rent, fuck with energy and shit. Fuck that. I'm not no fucking slave. Fuck this shit. But that's for a Fuck the Government podcast. You know, but like real shit. You do the right thing, it still fucks up. So you wonder why I be like, fuck it, get some land, build on that bitch, and stay the fuck away from society and fuck all the bills, fuck all that bullshit. I'm living off the fucking land, solar power, whatever, get the water source popping, get a nice community popping. Fuck this shit. Only thing a motherfucker pay will be fucking what land tax and shit. You know what I'm saying? And like, if they come on the land talking about we about to make a road or a freeway or a mall, bitch, you getting your head blown off. You ain't making it off this bitch alive. You ain't about to go back and tell somebody they said no. Nah, fuck all that, bitch. Your ass gonna become a scarecrow in that bitch. Put your ass in the cornfield. They ain't about to show up. But anyway, that's allegedly. But anyway, let me get up out of here, about to eat. I'll be back in a minute for some Resident Evil 6. And set everything up, straighten up the table, make sure my stand is right. And we're gonna have us a good time. We're gonna shoot some zombies in the rain. Da-na-na. But anyway, shout out to everybody. Much love to my guy, the sponsor. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I'll catch y'all in a minute. And it's the HHN special report. Catch y'all in a minute. And y'all know how we end it. Mic check. I walk around the streets for my black tech now by the waistline, looking at hype shit. I never claimed to be the best type of rapper. Have to show the motherfuckers what I'm after. I'm after the gold, and after that, the platinum. Beef after that, Hurricane KG packs the gats up. Bow. Trigger bang, bang. We'll be back with Resident Evil 6. Will Leon and Helena save the world from the evil NSA agent Simmons? Well, no, he ain't the NSA agent. He's the NSA fucking director. And this motherfucker is connected with the family of the Illuminati. Well, like, it ain't said Illuminati, but like he's like part of like a family thing. You know, them motherfuckers run the world. They got some connections. I think they work with the connections. But the motherfuckers NSA. But when we last left off, we got to get through the city because the city just got hit with the motherfucking missile. Everybody in China and shit running around like chickens with their head cut off. Now it's our turn to run around like chickens with our head cut off and escape the gas being turned into zombies and shit. It's going to start off us running. So it starts off action-packed. I can't wait to get back to it. I just hope the shit don't be pixelated. If it is, it's going to fuck up the whole experience. So then, if it fucks up, then I'll just be like Meditation Mondays. I'll grab a 30-minute meditation clip and we'll just meditate if they fuck up our Resident Evil, because I need y'all to see what I'm doing. If it's all pixelated, this shit gonna fuck up the experience. So, right. Let's keep our fingers crossed, baby. And shouts out to everybody coming through. We out. Mic check. I'm walking around the streets with my black tank now by the waistline. Look at the hype shit. I never claimed to be the best type of rapper, but have to show the motherfuckers what I'm after. I'm after the gold, and after that, the platinum. Beef after that, Hurricane G packs the gas, bow. Trigger bang, bang. It's the HHN special report with Hurricane and Vonta, the UK correspondent. And we out. Peace. You know. Yay, yay. We be coming.